Welcome to the Artist Loft, the talk show for all artists. Join us each show as we spotlight a variety of different creatives, hosted by the Florida Arts Network, with Richard Sosa and Frank A. Ruffolo.
Good evening, Lofties.
Hey, Lofties?
Might as well call them Lofties. They're
Okay,
here.
he just sprang that one on me. That's awesome. Hey, how's everybody doing? I'm Richard Sosa.
Frank Ruffolo.
Frank Ruffolo, and we are back with another episode of the Artist Loft. But before we get started, a shout out to my daughter Tiffany, because today is her neck-iversary. And what, pray tell, is a neck-iversary? About 11 years ago, she fractured her C1 and C2 in a cheerleading accident. And for a while, we thought she was going to be paralyzed, but she's okay. She just had to wear a neck brace for about 8 weeks, and but her cheerleading days were over, and so she came up with the name Neck-iversary. So, all right, sweetie, I love you. Happy Neck-iversary. Okay, so the Artist Loft is an arm of the Florida Arts Network. We are a 501c3, and so naturally we appreciate any way that you could help us, whether it's with donations or time. We really want to do things for Florida kids, introduce them to the arts, give some scholarships. I have run into some incredibly talented kids that they just didn't have the money to be able to work on their craft, and so we would want to give them like maybe 6 months of dance lessons, or 6 months of vocal lessons, or be able to pay for them to go into, say, an acting workshop. Things like this. This is what we want to do with Florida Arts Network. And then, through this show, what we do is we highlight artists that are already doing it.
In all forms of art, visual, performing, and verbal.
Yeah. If you're an author. Yeah, if you're an author, we've interviewed a couple of authors. We've interviewed actors. We have a dancer that's going to be coming on the show soon. We've got what do they call it? Cover bands, stuff like this. There are people that are out there and they're fighting the fight. Yep. They're overcoming hurdles. And we want to share their stories, because some people might think, oh wow, yeah, I would love to do that, but I don't think that I can. Well, it may be tough, because anything that's worth doing
It's tough.
is going to be tough. It's going to require work, right? But there are others that have overcome all these different hurdles, and they share their stories to encourage you.
And if you have a business or brand, you can become a sponsor on this show for as little as $75. Just contact us through our website. That's floridaartsnetwork.org.
Yep. All right, so today's special guest is a gentleman by the name of Varian Scott, AKA Doc. Welcome to the show, Doc.
Hey, Doc, how are you?
Thank you very much. Yes,
Yeah.
I'm well.
I was going to say, what's up, Doc, but you've probably heard that so many
Oh,
times.
probably like a trillion too, somewhere, but I love it.
Yeah, I know. So, so you are a scriptwriter / filmmaker, right?
Yes.
With an interesting story.
Yes.
You want to share, you don't want to, or
Yeah.
whatever you want to share about it. But you initially weren't looking at film.
Right.
Well, you were when you were younger. Why
Right.
don't you just tell us the story?
Yes. Okay. Yes. My name is Varian Scott. Everyone calls me Doc, as you said. Originally born and raised here in Miami, Florida. Originally, as a kid, we used to play with the camcorders. You remember the RCA camcorders and stuff like
yeah.
that? So we were actually editing and doing things that we didn't know at the time what we were doing. So, you know, as time progressed, after high school, I jumped headfirst into the medical field. Started in pre-med. I got a job at a clinic in Miami-Dade County, Florida. And I rose through the ranks to become part owner of several different medical clinics where we dealt with HIV, cancer patients, general practice as well.
Hence, doc.
Yes, that's where the name doc comes from. So during my tenure in the medical field at that time, an opportunity kept presenting itself. And I had to make a choice. It was either continue to go to school to become a cardiothoracic surgeon or become an illegal millionaire. I chose the illegal millionaire route by buying and selling HIV and cancer medication on the black market. I made a lot of money. I did it from 23 years old up till 36 years old when I got in trouble, and I had to go do federal time. My first cousin testified against me in trial, along with the pharmacist and several other people. But unbeknownst to me, it was a blessing in disguise. You know, I had to go through that. So just fast forward, and during trial, once they came back, I was charged with 21 counts of healthcare fraud and conspiracy to commit healthcare fraud. Once I was found guilty, I felt God personally put his hand on my shoulder and say, "Doc, you got to trust me on this." I said, "Okay, let's go." While I was sentenced to 12 years, and during my time, I reprogrammed my mind and taught myself screenwriting. That's when the bug came back from its original form of me as a kid doing that. Because like I said, after high school, I didn't know what I really wanted to do. I just jumped headfirst into the medical field. So while I was I taught myself screenwriting. I knew how to tell stories. I just didn't know how to format the actual story in the screen, in the script form.
Yeah, so far, this sounds like a good script.
Yeah, I know, right?
We get into that. We get into that. So after I did 9.5 years, I came home with 13 screenplays, different genres: action, comedy, drama, religion, superhero, you name it. I wrote it all. Once I came home, after 6 months and a half, I shot my first film called Those Greedy Bastards, which is on Amazon Prime, Tubi, Apple TV. And that's what spawned the film, what we're doing next, what Richard and I are producing as well, called Medicine Game. It's about my life story, but it's being told from a whole different perspective. And I'm letting the female lead be me. I just flipped the whole thing because while I was when I dissected Hollywood and looked at everything from a different perspective, I got tired of seeing females in film being looked up as only sex objects, or all they could do is be a maid, or something degrading. So that's what made me flip the story and tell it from a female perspective. I want to give an A-lister the shout out, but I can't.
Yeah.
Because of the legal, once we signed it, I do it. But we definitely have an A-list director attached to the project as well as a lead.
Cool.
Yeah, we're so excited about this project.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
It's amazing.
The redemption side of it feels so good. Like I said, when I look back on my time while I was doing the bid, and I didn't have time to have anger and hate for my cousin and the people that testified against me, because I would have missed the whole thing why God sat me down.
Yeah.
Which means I won't be sitting here talking with you guys right now to
right.
inspire some other people.
Yeah.
And like I tell people all the time too, rehabilitation is for those that want to be rehabilitated.
Yes.
I wanted to be rehabilitated.
Yes. Absolutely.
So, like I said, from this point forward, the rest is history.
Yeah. The rest, as I say, is history, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and it's amazing how God works in people's lives.
In beautiful ways, man.
Yeah.
Beautiful ways.
Sometimes scary ways.
Yeah, that you can't understand at that moment.
Yeah, exactly.
But you just have to trust God.
Yeah.
And know, not believe in God, you have to know God and how God works.
And sometimes you don't know he's helping you until a few years later when you look back and went, oh, look what he did.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
Sometimes things will happen in our lives that we may never understand while we're on this earth.
While we're still living.
Yeah, exactly. And we're going to have to say, hey, God, I got a couple of questions I've been meaning to ask.
Yeah, why don't you take me through this part, man? I mean, you should have shown me. Yeah.
I know when God sees me, he's going to go, Oh my me.
Excuse me. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah,
Yes.
so it's a really interesting story
Yes.
that you've got. I've been going through the script because now we have to look for product placement opportunities
Yes.
and everything
Yes.
else. Of course, that's going to change now that our location has kind of changed
Of course.
a little bit. So you guys are probably not going to see me for a couple of months because I'll be traveling. But I will stay in touch, and hopefully.
So how long you been on the
Frank will-
outside?
I came home. I first got indicted on Christmas Eve, 2008. Right. They couldn't wait till after Christmas. They arrested me at my house in Bell Harbor
Christmas
on
Eve.
December 24, 2008 at 8 a.m.
What? I didn't know that part.
Yes. And
Ho, ho,
they
ho.
wouldn't give me a bond. They wouldn't give me nothing because they wanted me to tell them who I was selling the medicine to overseas, and I wouldn't reveal nothing because I don't believe in that, not me personally.
Yeah.
I knew what I was doing when I got into the game, into the business or whatever. And in all honesty, some things you got to take to the graveyard with you.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say. I don't believe in being no snitch from the streets or all that stuff. 'Cause like I said, I knew what I was doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Made a lot of money from it. I enjoyed it. It's like when most people they want to benefit everything that the game has to offer, but when it's time to answer, nobody wants to do it.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I came home July 10th, 2018.
Oh, right before COVID.
Right before COVID. During that next, let me see, 9 months, I was at the halfway house in West Palm Beach. So once I got at the halfway house, I shot my first film.
Yeah.
Shot my first feature film on top of an autobiography. I was too determined because during that 9.5 years that I did do my time, I was praying and I was just thanking God and like, I'm going to get this done one way or another. I'm not going to let you down.
Yeah.
And I was too determined. During COVID, we shot it from September 1st until September 25th. We got this film done of 2020.
So I got to ask you,
Yes.
when you were in prison.
Kidnapped, when I was kidnapped. Yeah. I like to call it kidnapped. Reason
Oh,
being,
okay.
I was held against my will. I didn't want to be in there.
Yeah, that's right.
If you think about it, if you want to get
All
technical,
right.
I was really
All
held
right.
against
It's
my
a legal
will. I
kidnapping,
like to call
yeah.
it kidnapping.
You were abducted.
I was abducted. But I was abducted for a reason, and now I thank God every moment that you abducted me.
So how did you learn, the script writing and all this other stuff?
Oh yeah, it was this lady in my first location in the federal system. They send you across the country. It's not like a state prison where you only stay in Florida.
Right.
So my first bid was in Louisiana, and like I said, the bug had done covered my body all over again. So I asked the librarian, Miss Jones. I never forget her name. I'm gonna thank you one day personally, Miss Jones. Thank you. And she went on the internet and got me everything I needed to learn how to format an actual screenplay.
Wow.
And from that moment, everything else just came so naturally and just so easy. So when I finished one, because a lot of people don't understand, you can get lost in that system very easy.
Oh, yeah.
Very easy. Because, you have your homeboys and all this other stuff. You don't want people to think that you're this or that or whatever. But I knew I was on a mission. So when I finished one script, I had to jump on the next one. Like God said, sit back down. Here's another idea. You're not going to get lost. You're going to get this one way or another, in which I was already embedded completely into it at that moment.
Yeah, so that kept you focused.
And that kept me focused. That kept me out of trouble, kept me out of focus, kept from being influenced by the homeboys, cars and all that stuff there, whatever.
Yeah, and it's real easy to get into more and more trouble.
Oh man, inside, yeah, because you're just in a wall. You can't do anything, and like I said, it's so easy to get lost. But I stayed the course. Again, I thank God every moment, man, because now look what we're about to do right now. We just signed a major deal, too, with Sony AMG distribution for our company.
Yep.
So it's like, from this point, it's nothing but past
Sky's
the
the
stars.
limit.
Yeah. I was gonna say that, and I was like, I don't know.
You're gonna say what?
I was gonna mention Sony, and I was like, wait, should I mention it yet? So
Yes.
I'll follow your lead. Yeah.
Yes.
And now comes all the paperwork that we have to do.
Yes,
for
yes.
the
Which we've already
incentives.
gotten 90% of it done. We got 99% done. Just
Yeah.
that 1% that we got to do. AMG was absolutely amazed by the story itself and the attachments that we have. And they gave us that deal right on the spot.
Yeah.
And I know it wasn't nobody but God. I know it was. There's no question or doubt about it whatsoever. Because while I was kidnapped, I played every scenario. I know it's.
I'm sorry. I'm
no,
sorry. It's just,
no, it's for
Good
real.
way to
I've
look at it,
I've
though.
never heard
It's
it
a
put
good
that
way to
way
look at
before.
it.
Yeah.
I was kidnapped, But during that time, I just knew that I played every scenario that somebody might want to try to come buy our script, buy us out, blah, 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 whatever.
But
And then it came to
that'd be a good
fruition.
name for a script called Kidnapped, and nobody would realize what you were talking about.
Exactly.
Really?
But think about it. It's really kidnapping.
Basically.
Yeah.
They don't care about your family. The federals, they don't care about your family. They don't care what you had going on. And they knew my charge was just white collar. It's not like I was a terrorist or anything.
Right.
It's white collar crime. Come on, man.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to need to come back to that. Right now, we're going to
We're going to be
break for.
kidnapped by some sponsors.
Yeah. Quick commercial
In a good
break.
way. In a
We'll
good
be
way.
right back.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Agent Romante, but most of you know me as Esteban Julio Ricardo Montoya de Rosa Ramirez from The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. I just wanted to give a shout out to my man Richard Sosa. He is one of the best acting coaches that I've had the pleasure to work with, and he's actually worked with me in my program for many years, and I highly recommend this guy. So if you have an opportunity to work with him, what are you waiting for? Now, get out of my face. Esteban Julio Ricardo Montoya de Rosa Ramirez, I'm out.
Frank A. Ruffolo, a renowned author and screenwriter known for his books such as 10048, Blue Falcon, Memoir of a Soldier, and his latest, Samuel of Sarah. Check out his website, frankaruffolo.com, for more info or purchase his books on Amazon.
Hey, we're back.
All right. Yeah, I thought that I had shut off my phone. Next thing I know, during the commercial, it's ringing, and it was my daughter. It's funny because I was just talking about her. I don't know if she was watching. She was watching the show. If you're watching the show, sweetheart, I am so sorry. I will call you when we're done. Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
She forgives you. Your dad.
I know she does. Has grown to be an amazing woman.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Yeah, she really has. And then I have my boys. No, I shouldn't say it like that because I adore my boys. But okay, so I digress. It's that whole ADHD thing. Sorry, I'm a squirrel. So back to your story. So what was the name of that librarian, Miss Jones?
Miss Jones. I just can't remember her first name, but I know her face.
Yeah.
But I definitely want to go back. It was in Pollock, Louisiana, in some rural little part in Louisiana. And that was the name of the prison that I first went to. And she, without hesitation, which I knew, again, when I look back on it was from God.
Yeah.
It was destined from her because, most people would say, I can't do that. She actually went on. I hope I'm not getting her in trouble. It was just, but she went on the
I know,
internet
right?
and got that thing. But it was all ordained by
Well,
God.
they have incentives in Louisiana, so you may be doing a movie there soon. Maybe you get to see her sooner.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Possible.
Hopefully
Yeah, I mean the
could.
rebates in Louisiana are like 36 to 40%,
Oh, okay.
which is pretty cool.
Right.
Pretty cool.
She was the librarian. I never forget her face, though. I know her face.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
she got that for me, and it was no looking back from that point. No looking back.
Yeah. And so explain a little bit about, because Frank and I have both done this, a little bit about how difficult it is to take a story
Oh, yeah.
and compress
That's
it
it.
into like 90 to 100 pages.
Excuse me. Yes, it's it's challenging, but it's also fun. I enjoy it because I get to jump in and out of every character.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm cuckoo clocking or anything like that. I'm just being creative. I'm just being creative and jumping in and out of every character. Like I said, to compress it all into 90 to 120 pages. That's why Medicine Game is going to be a part 2 as well, because I couldn't put it all in it because everything that went along during that whole regime. No, regime is not a good word. During the whole time that I was doing the healthcare fraud thing.
Right.
So
Doing that
it's a lot.
episode in your.
Yeah, I had to cut it off at 120 pages, which means we have part 2 to it, which takes it on a no different level.
Yeah, the sequel.
The sequel.
Have you started writing the sequel yet, or?
It's been written.
Oh, it is written. It's
already
written already.
Yeah, it's
okay.
already written.
Why am I not surprised?
Why is it not surprised?
Yeah.
Right, it's one of the 13. It's one of the 13 that I came home with. I have sequels, and like I said, I always, from one genre to the next genre, I always push myself. Because you have some screenwriters only can focus on one genre.
Yes.
Like they only can write horror or just action or comedy.
No, I write them all.
I write them all. I
me too.
take myself, I can completely block out everything and just get into that world.
Yeah.
I don't get writer's block. That's a gift. That's a Thanksgiving. That's a gift for me. That's good. Exactly. I don't get writer's block.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's a gift, man. Sometimes you can't explain the gift. You just have to thank God for it.
Yeah.
And I've written 2 things at the same time, going from different genres.
Exactly. I actually wrote 2 scripts at the same time. No Means No, the second film that we're doing, and Miami Vice Bad Girls, which is an all-action film.
Yeah.
I wrote 2 of those. I was jumping in and out of
You jump in on a character, in on a genre.
Yes. It was actually fun though, man. To be honest.
Yeah.
Sounds cuckoo to some people, but
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know that I can.
You can do it.
Yeah, it's
as,
fun.
As ADHD as I am, I don't. Well, actually, maybe I'm the perfect person.
You're perfect person.
I have a favorite saying. Nothing's impossible. It's just a matter of figuring out how.
Yep. Yeah. This is true. This is very true.
Never impossible. Just figure it out.
And so, what is your thought process when you're writing? Because for example, I know my characters, my main characters, right? And then I put them in a situation and I let my characters tell the story. Right. They kind of figure it out. Right? But different people have different
processes. How they do. I actually process by playing thousands of movies in my head to not mimic that. Mm-hmm. That's why all of our screenplays are original pieces. Mm-hmm. So I have to make sure that I don't go, if I do take something from a scene that I've seen before, I'm going to completely flip it and turn around and see, you know what, we've never seen it this way before. Or what? I'm not saying that I've seen every movie that was ever made.
Right.
But that's my process. And like you said with the characters, I put the characters together. I first write down the names. And as I'm writing the names down, my brain go to turn at 1 trillion operations a second.
Yeah.
And I already say what Doc Girl's going to say, or what Chantel is going to say, or what Dr. Lomas is going to say during that time.
You write like I do.
Yeah, you see, exactly. The characters talk to you.
Yep.
Yeah, they do. And it's funny because I have caught myself laughing at,
exactly.
I'm writing away and all of a sudden I start laughing. I'm like, oh, well, that was funny.
Exactly.
And they surprise you. The characters can surprise you.
Yeah, they can.
It's your thoughts,
yes,
but you're thinking as the character at the.
So imagine being kidnapped around the killers and everybody, all the tough guys in the world or whatever, and like you said, you're writing a character, then you start laughing like, Doc, you all right? Leave me alone right now. I'm in my zone right now.
You ever get
the voices in my head.
Ever kill off a character and then get upset?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You
kill off a character, then you get upset.
And then get upset. You're like, dang, should I have done that?
Yeah, no, it's
and then it just comes, it just flows naturally.
Yeah.
For me, and like I said, for Frank, it just flows naturally.
Yeah, and when you're a good writer, it generally means that you're a good reader too.
Yes.
And here's the funny thing, all right? So you were saying a moment ago how you don't like to mimic movies and other movies and stuff like that, right? I mean, it's almost unavoidable to a certain degree because there are only 32 different types of stories, but there's a million ways to say it. There's the kidnapping story. There's the bank heist story.
Right.
Boy meets girl. Girl meets boy.
Boy meets boy. Girl meets girl.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Exactly. So there's only 32 certain categories of stories, right? But you can tell those stories in an infinite number of ways.
In a million different ways, man.
Yeah. And that's where the creative process comes in.
Whoever would have thought Seth MacFarlane, when he came up with Ted, would have done
Oh my gosh.
a cussing teddy bear.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it killed the box office. And
I'm-
that's why I like to tell people,
Yeah.
push yourself. Stop following the norm or think that it can't happen this way because, again, nothing's impossible. Just a matter
Yeah.
of figuring out how.
Yeah.
He
And
figured out how.
And unfortunately, our story has about ended.
Exactly.
Wait, what? No,
Yeah.
we still have
No.
a couple of minutes.
Oh, I got a note.
Did he give you
He gave me
He gave you the wink.
he gave me the half a peace sign over there when
Yeah.
and we only have 2 minutes to go.
Right.
Yeah, the half a peace sign. We're number one.
You're number one. You're number one. Exactly.
Oh my gosh, I can't.
Yes.
I can't believe how quickly
Yeah, I
the
mean,
time goes by.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
but
yeah,
when you have a
it's
good
always-
guest, it goes
Yeah.
by like a snap.
Yeah, it does. When
Oh,
you have
absolutely.
when that chemistry's there, it's like time doesn't exist.
Yeah.
It's like you can't put a price on a good meal or a good time. You just can't. That's
Yeah.
just the way it is.
For everything else, there's MasterCard.
Exactly.
Did I
That's
just?
it.
Did I just plug
Yeah,
MasterCard?
cut the check Visa,
Oh, well,
and
maybe we'll-
MasterCard.
Who knows? Maybe we'll
Yeah,
get,
maybe they'll
maybe
wanna
we'll get some.
sponsor us now.
Maybe we'll get some
Yeah.
free pizza or something.
Yeah.
I
yes.
know, right? All right, Doc. Well, thanks so much for being on our show. But before you go, why don't you let everybody know how they can contact you? Any social media, website, whatever.
Right. Yes. You can contact me on my website, which is Scotland Movie Group. That's SCOTTLAND moviegroup.com.
Like on his hat?
Excuse me. Scotland305.com. I just got a new website. Sorry.
Ah, okay.
good.
So
okay.
it's Scotland305.com, and that's where you can locate us and see all the feature films that we have coming out now and in the near future. We have projects going to keep us working for the next 7 years consecutively, doing 3 feature films a year. So
Yeah.
that's where you can find out everything. If you want to audition or send in your tapes or for work or whatever, we're all about the opportunities and giving people. So just reach out, but be serious.
Yeah, because I feel like we're going to be filming all over the place.
All over the place.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
yes.
So we're really excited about this. I can't wait.
Yes.
I can't wait. All right. Well, thanks again for tuning in. And look, I forgot that we even had this
slate.
We got the
this
slate.
I forgot the slate. Yeah. I know, right? All right. Quiet sticks. Yeah, that never happens with me. They get in front of me and let me see. Do I put this? Put that on.
That'll work.
All right. Yeah. See, that's the squirrel. Squirrel. I'm all over the place. All right. So there's our website on the bottom of the screen. Right on our landing page tells us a little bit about what we're doing, what we want to do, and all the different ways that you can help. And remember, your gifts are tax deductible. We are a 501c3, and we appreciate any help that you can give us. All right. So, like they say, ciao for now.
Ciao for now.
See you next week.
Thank you for watching The Artist Loft. Make sure to tune in next time for another great show. A show that was produced by Ant Media Productions and hosted by the Florida Arts Network with your hosts Richard Sosa and Frank A. Ruffolo.